Greetings, YouTubers and friends. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Pete McHugh Show. And I'm just going to announce straight off the bat here that what I talk about on today's episode is going to involve deeper things than what we've talked about thus far in this series on YouTube. And as I told you from day one, the very first episode, I said, yes, we're going to have a lot of fun on this show, and I don't plan on changing that at any time. We will have fun on this show. We will have comedic times on this show, and we will have good days on this show where we just laugh and celebrate life. But I also told you that this show is going to have a wide range of subjects, and that we're going to talk about some deeply rooted material that we haven't touched on at certain times. And what I thought I would do in this video is sort of introduce you to a series that I'm planning that's going to sort of give you a first-person perspective of what it might be like, or how I perceive what it is to live with the disability that I do on a daily basis, which happens to be cerebral palsy. You're going to get a first-person perspective of what it's like to live in this body. Why? Why would I be doing this? Well, I want to encourage those out there in certain communities who are maybe uneducated or unaware of what it's like to live with a disability on a daily basis. I want to give you a first-person perspective and talk to you about what that's kind of like, from someone who is willing to talk about it openly and honestly, and who is willing to share the wisdom that I have learned thus far in my 26 years of living with this situation. Cerebral palsy is an interesting life, or is part of an interesting life, and I want to share, to encourage, to motivate, and to inspire, and to educate a person who may be around the disabled community or that environment in one way or another. First thing you're going to learn about me is that I don't like the term disabled. To me, it's a very it doesn't have the appropriate vigor to it. It doesn't carry the right substance. I don't like the term disabled because it implies that a person with a condition is unable to function, period. It's a very disheartening word to me. Now, that's not the case. People with disabilities live functional lives every day. They learn how to function within the realities of their situations because of those disabilities every day. And I'm standing here creating this series because I believe that people within my fellowship and my connections and my community who also deal with disabilities have just as much of a voice and just as much of a right to live a life of joy, of peace, of grace, of wisdom, of everything and every context that another person who doesn't have a disability would. And the simple truth is, if you don't live with a disability and you live a day-to-day life without one, you don't think about these things. You don't think about what it's like to live with a disability on a daily basis. And I'm not trying to knock you. The reason I'm creating this series is to educate, to motivate, and encourage and inspire those of us within the disabled community and those of us who are not, and to let you know that we are awesome people and that we lead interesting lives, and that just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can't aspire to do things and be who you want to be and reach for things and encourage other people to find good things in their own lives. this series is going to talk about CP from a physical standpoint, what it may actually be like for a person to live in this body, or a body like this with cerebral palsy. And the reason I say that is because no person is affected the exact same way by cerebral palsy. There are no definite indicators and or symptoms that can point a person to the fact that another person has cerebral palsy for sure. There are no true benchmarks that can point a person to the direction to be able to say cerebral palsy is what that person deals with. And I am creating this video series because I believe in us. I believe in every single one of us. I believe in those who have disabilities. I believe you're valuable. And I believe you're worth something. And I believe you have a voice. And I believe that we're good people. And that just because we lead unique lives and different lives doesn't mean they're not special ones. And I believe that it would be valuable for those of us who don't live with disabilities on a daily basis to be educated, to be informed, and to know what it's like to live in the situation that we do. So this video series is going to be for a community of people, and a great thing. I hope you enjoy it. I know that I will. Until next time, grace and peace be with you. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great, great day. Bye-bye.